Hello, viewers. Welcome to my chapter review of One Piece, chapter 752. Now, I just finished reading this week's chapter, and I went and I actually caught Zoro Fanboy 124's stream on his thoughts of this week's chapter of One Piece. And let me say that I agree with him 100%. Um, Now, I'm going to be honest, this chapter, really, there's not much going on. And that sounds weird because if you remember last week's chapter, we left off on the cliffhanger with Luffy and Law entering the caverns or whatever it was, and then being ambushed by Don Flamingo. Now, here's the thing. That ended up being a very pointless scene. Completely pointless because this week's chapter of One Piece started off with Luffy and Law drowning in the water, and then the Funk Brothers coming and saving their ass, and showing that it wasn't really Don Flamingo, it was just one of his clones, and that the whole scene was pointless. Ridiculous. I just don't understand the purpose of even adding it in there. You know, they hyped us all up for nothing, to be honest, because that scene really annoyed me. And I'm usually not very critical of One Piece or certain scenes, but I had a feeling it was going to be a clone of Flamingo and not actually Flamingo. But nonetheless, I was kind of irritated at the fact that, like, Luffy and Law have been going after Flamingo for the last 7 to 10 chapters. And here it's like, oh, look, here's Flamingo. No, just kidding. Not really him. So that kind of irritated me. And then the other thing that annoyed me was the jumping around, and this is what I was saying. Zoro Fanboy 124 mentioned in his stream. Oda lately has been, not really even lately, this whole arc, he's been jumping around from scene to scene to scene. And while I understand there's a lot of content going on and a lot of characters, a lot of separate things going on at the same time, it's not good writing if you continuously do that. I hate to say it, but sometimes you have to focus on just one thing going on and not 1,000 things at once because you're more invested in what's going on. You know, if you're jumping from Zoro to Pika, I'm sorry, Zoro to Pika. If you're jumping from Zoro to Luffy to the Funk Brothers to Robin to Frankie to, I could go on to the Tantatas. It's just so too much stuff that if you spend one page or one panel per thing going on, you're never going to get an audience invested or that interested in what's happening in the chapter. And that's the thing that kind of bothers me. Spend an entire chapter focused on Luffy. Spend the whole entire chapter focused on Law's backstory or Zoro's fight with Pika or what else am I missing? Frankie's fight with Senor Pink, or Sabo's fight with the military, with Fujitora. Just try it. I know it's been a while, but give it a shot. So that's it. That irritated me the most. The one thing that was interesting in the chapter, I will say, is the very end with Law's. The start of seems like the start of Law's backstory, but as I've just been arguing this whole review, who knows if they go into that next chapter or if they will just set it up again. But they showed a quick glimpse of Law as a child, very quick glimpse, showing that he was kind of like jaded and he wanted to join Flamingo's army at the time, or his group, his family, whatever. And that's all they left us off on, and he just looked completely like, evil as a kid. And he mentioned that grown-up Law mentioned that if it wasn't for Curaçao, that he would have probably, or Flamingo mentioned that if it wasn't for Curaçao, that Law would be with him now and would be part of his group, and just as maniacal as he is. So we're gonna find out more about it. We know this. Just kind of, that was the most interesting part of this whole entire chapter. Everything else was set up again, and the rest of the chapter really irritated me. So really, the last page of the chapter was very good. Um, so because of this, overall, I have to rate the chapter just eh, subpar rating. I would say subpar to par. So I would give it probably a 5 out of 10. Now, my reviews are a little different than other people, so 5 out of 10 to me is just par or average, not even maybe a little below average. So 5 out of 10 chapter. Normally I would rate it higher, these chapters, but it's just been kind of like this up and down lately. So 5 out of 10. Subpar chapter, and hope you all guys enjoy your 4th of July, and I'll see you this weekend for the next One Piece episode review. See you guys later.